So as everyone knows by now, we're getting a brand new Tomodachi Life game. But I think the trailer is showing off a bit more than just that. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to today's Mood News Report. I'm your host Mads, and today I want to talk a little bit about Tomodachi Life, living the dream. As many of you probably want me to talk about, as many of you are probably just as excited as I am, this game is a long time coming. It's a very, very, very long time coming, and there's so much I can talk about with it, but specifically for today, for this video, there's one aspect I really want to talk about. It's ears. No, it's a little bit more than that, but look at this. Miis have ears now, right? In case you're curious, that maybe this is a bit of a, what is it, a butterfly effect? What, not the butterfly effect. What is it? The Mandela effect, that's what it's called. Might be a bit of a Mandela effect, but Miis, throughout the entirety of their existence, apart from like an early tech demo for Wii Sports, never had ears. They've always been earless, and yet, look here, we've got some ears. And it makes you think, wait a second, we've got ears on the Miis. These eyes look new. This hair looks new. Are those highlights? Wait a second. There's a lot going on which makes these Miis not just Miis, right? This isn't just the standard Mii approach which we had with the original Tomodachi Life. Now, if you quickly jump back, right, to Tomodachi Life on 3DS, I know you could have like a little bit of like custom makeup and like custom like hair colors, I think, but you like required a specific item in the game. The customization beyond the Mii itself, which you could do just like the regular Mii Maker, wasn't that grand. Like, it wasn't that big of a shift. Like, it was pretty much the exact same. And then jump to like the Switch, the Mii Maker got a couple upgrades over there. So we got like brand new hair colors, like actually a load of hair colors. Before there was like 8 hair colors, I think. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm a fake Mii fan. Don't quote me. I think it's 10, maybe. Tell me if I'm wrong. But overall, the sort of like path Miis have gone on has been very, very slow pace. They've pretty much stayed pretty much exactly the same as they have on the original Wii, with just, you know, a couple new shapes for hair and eyes and all that stuff. Until the magical game known as Miitopia came out as a port of a 3DS version on Nintendo Switch. And this game added this crazy new makeup mechanic, which really made these Miis look nothing like Miis. Like, if you take off the makeup and show it compared to the like original Mii from a lot of these Mii Maker creators on Miitopia, it is insane the difference. I actually wanted to do this video, maybe I'll still do it, of like a competition where like you have to guess what the Mii is with the makeup on by seeing them without their makeup. Maybe I'll still do that. Sorry if you guys want to see that. Maybe I'll do that on Tanuki Lab or something. But yeah, going from like very little or very incremental little upgrades and updates to the Mii Maker over time, having something like this in game, it was like insane. I was like, whoa, wait, this is crazy. The amount of detail I could get lost for hours in this. Actually, I wouldn't mind booting that up again. I haven't really played Miitopia in a couple years. That would be really, really fun. But then if we jump over to today and we look at the Nintendo Direct and we see Tomodachi Life living the dream, when you look at the Miis, yeah, as I said, they have the ears, but also a lot of their hair has a lot of changes. And most of these hairstyles, I don't think we've seen at all in previous Mii Makers whatsoever. They're brand new. And sure, they could just be wigs like they were in Miitopia, but I'm not so sure. I don't think that's how this is going to be. I really think that this is pointing to the direction that we might even get. Again, maybe I'm totally wrong on this, but we could potentially get like an actual Mii 2, like a Mii 2.0. And it's so funny because I was talking about that in like one of my videos a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh wait, if we actually get that, I'm like, wait, that would be so sick. That would be so cool. Because like, obviously, Switch 2, Mii 2, like, oh, that could be kind of fun. And these do actually look like significantly like upgraded versions of the Miis. Some people have like pointed out that like some of the Miis in the Direct are like the same Miis seen in a lot of like Wii U titles, which is pretty interesting and fun. But again, if you compare those two and see which Miis they are, they still look very different. Like, their irises are different, their hair is totally different. It's still like similar, but it definitely like has a lot of changes. And also, I think it might be just for lighting in a lot of places, but also a lot of the other characters have either brand new hair or highlights, like actual colored highlights alongside their default hair color, which is really, really cool, and also opens up a huge amount of like design choices which we could expect in this game. Because if you're seeing anything from The Sims or any other life sim type game and you look at the character customization, usually that is the one thing which is like gone crazy and crazier as time goes on with each new title. And I think we could really expect that with Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, because so far already we've seen all this new variety in hairstyles, in eye styles, or eye whatever glistens or whatever. And again, it could just be a makeup mechanic, but I'm more so leaning on the idea that this this isn't a makeup mechanic, and this is just like a new system for Miis. And that does beg the question, wait a second, but this is coming out on the Switch 1. Wouldn't that mechanic for like the new Miis and stuff be on Switch 2? Why would they do that? Good point. I'm just thinking about that now, and crap. Okay, sure, yeah, it might seem a little unlikely for Switch 1 and stuff, but I'm sure there could be a reason of like, oh, look, if you're on the Switch 2, these Miis are compatible, and on the Switch 1 they're not. But at the same time, look what we just got. We just got like this big update to the Switch 1, which adds like the new game sharing feature and all this stuff. I love adding little new circles to the dock on the Switch 1. And we could expect more changes to the Switch 1. It would be so funny. Again, I think I said this in an earlier Mood News video. It'd be so funny if we got like themes to drop on Switch 1 after Switch 2 is released. Like that would be like the funniest move for Nintendo to do. But I really don't think it's out of the question, because I think it would be kind of strange if there isn't any update to the Mii Maker and we still get this. Maybe this is just me, but this generation with Switch 1 has felt so weird with Miis, and they've really been ignoring it and like shelving it and all that stuff and just doing whatever they want. And especially like with Miitopia, the makeup mechanic is a good example of that, because it feels so disconnected to what Miis are that there is no cohesion at all with them throughout this console. And it's sort of upsetting. It's like, yeah, look at Sports Mates, like that was a case of replacing them. They had them in what, Mario Golf? There's a bunch of like random examples of them being in games or not being in games and how they are presented in those games. And sure, we got that a little bit in the Wii and Wii U generation and on the 3DS, but it wasn't anything crazy. All it was like, oh, they have ball hands, or they have bodies with little like clam hands. Like that was literally like the most contrast we would get in terms of what a Mii is. But overall, in terms of like their face structure and sort of the different options they have in regards to that, it was pretty much universal across the board. And so I think having some sort of update or overhaul for the Miis, and then allowing for like maybe not something as crazy as Miitopia, but something which still allows like a lot of player customization and like a lot of fun to be had, will be the perfect like middle ground going forward for the Miis. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like the way they're stylizing them, obviously this isn't called like Mii Life or anything, or like, you know, it wasn't like a core game compared to like the other Mii games, but everyone still considers Tomodachi Life to be like a core Mii game. Like that is a very good representation of what the Miis are and what Nintendo is and all that stuff. So I don't know. I really think that they could easily do like a big update to the Miis, call it Mii 2, put it on the Switch 2, and be like, oh, some Miis are compatible with this. Well, you know, again, you could have something where it's like on Switch 1, you can make them in Tomodachi Life living the dream, and they stay there or whatever, and they can be customized further beyond the standard Mii Maker. But on Switch 2, if you make any Miis in Tomodachi Life, you can then import them back into the Mii Maker on Switch 2, and that could be really cool. I am begging that we get some really fun UI and stuff for the Switch 2. I don't think we're gonna get that. I'm not gonna be too pressed if we don't. I'm gonna keep my hopes back. But if we get, you know, a tiny morsel of little personality in its identity on its operating system side of things, I will be over the bloody moon. But yeah, last thing I really want to talk about is like, what else could we get which could be new? Obviously, you've seen new hairstyles, which seem really fun so far. The highlights, which could be really fun. New makeup systems, it seems, but could we get new face shapes? Could we get a new element completely disconnected from the Miis? Like, could we get like a hat system to be added, or like some other aspect where it doesn't really interfere with the existing things? We could also get earrings, since there's ears now, or maybe ear size or ear shape, because everyone has different ears. Maybe some elf ears and stuff could be like really fun if you're doing like Link or something. There's a lot of opportunities and a lot of little fun ways which getting my brain turning. This game can't come soon enough, and I'm so excited for